everybody is aware, there is absolutely no standing in the duration of the boat ride. So now that everybody is seated, please remain seated. In the event of a casualty, there's life jackets located under everyone's seat. Children's life jackets are located under the handicap seating near the central exits. Please silence our cell phones and other electronics while on board this vessel and on board USS Arizona Memorial. And again, ladies and gentlemen, to reiterate, there's absolutely no standing.
Battleships right there? Wow. Look at that one, Terry. Must look like that is part of the ship that's there.
Mm-hmm. This is the oil that is still seeping up from the ship to the bottom of the ocean.
Essentially, if you didn't know, the crew number was 1,512. That was the total crew number. And of those, there were 335 survivors. One of them put in his will he wanted to have his ashes interred or buried into the ship after he passed away. His name was Gunner's Mate Second Class Teslo, and he passed away in 1982, and that's significant because that's 37 years after the war had ended. And up to that point, no one had been voluntarily buried within the ship. When the Navy got his request, they not only granted it, but they opened up the program for any other survivors. And that's what this is all about. If you're inside the shrine room or you're going in, the Wall of Honor has the 1,177 of those killed, but on either side of that wall, there's two small monuments, and they have a total of 44 names on them. Those are the 44 crewmen that have come back since 1982 to be buried with their shipmates. The last service we had here was in December of 2019 when the family of Lauren Bruner brought him back. They had a full military burial ceremony right where you're standing, after which the family took the urn of ashes and they solemnly processed out to the dock, that dock you just came off. At the end of the dock in the water, there was a team of divers, and they handed the urn of ashes to one of the divers who began to swim slowly backward, away from the dock, away from the family, but always holding that urn above the waterline so the family would never lose sight of it. Visualize, if you will, the diver taking the urn from the family at the end of the dock, somewhere you can see it through the opening, and swimming in this direction. When we got to a point between that little white round buoy over the stern of the Arizona and gun turret 3, this big rusty round piece you see protruding from the water, once in between there he stopped because he was then generally over the top of the 4th gun turret of the ship, which is always below the waterline, and it has cracks in it from the attack. So he stopped there. He looked back at the family on the dock who was watching him. He took the urn, he raised it above his head as high as he possibly could, and he held it there for several very, very long seconds. And that was the diver silently communicating with the family that this was indeed the final farewell. He then submerged, and the last vision the family had of their loved one was the urn of ashes slowly disappearing below the waterline between that white buoy and gun turret 3. I have seen 5 of these myself. Billy is a diver, Park Ranger Billy. He's been down on a few of these dives, and I can tell you, each one gets more powerful and compelling than the one before. Once submerged, the diver finds gun turret 4, he finds the crack, he gently lowers the urn, and then the deceased joins his shipmates. As we stand here this morning, of the 1,512-man original crew, we have 2 left. One is 100 years old, and the other one will be 100 in September. Interestingly, both of them have publicly declared that when they pass away, their remains will be buried within their own respective family plots on the mainland. So the service we had here in 2019 for Lauren Bruner was historic because it was the 44th and potentially final ceremony we would have. Now I say the word potentially because the Navy would never rescind its invitation to all the survivors. So should one or both of these final 2 survivors change their minds, they most certainly would be accommodated, and we would add a 45th and possibly a 46th name to the small monuments inside the shrine. That is the story about this little plaque. If you have any other questions, I'll be roaming out here.
Hey gang, well, we just got back from having lunch, and you guys saw the video of the Pearl Harbor Memorial, and I had never been to a military cemetery before. Yesterday at Punch Bowl Crater, and also today at Pearl Harbor, and it was powerful. And I think that if I'm ever elected president, I'm making every first responder and every military personnel the highest paid people in the world, and the most honored, because they do things that no one else wants to do and can do. And we put so much emphasis on sports and entertainment that isn't what keeps us safe. It may keep us sane, but it doesn't keep us safe. And I know a lot of military people, and to those I don't know, thank you so much for everything that you've given to this country. And we have people who want to destroy our country and change it and reimagine it. I like it the way it is. I like the freedom, and I love the fact that God has reserved this country, other than Israel, for his own. And when we put Christ first, this country will become better. Not races, not privilege, not culture, when we put Christ first. So thank you to all of our military personnel. And even though it's past Memorial Day, you can never say thank you to them enough for giving their lives, our men and women in uniform. So from the bottom of my heart, because I choked up the whole time. I was just choking up the whole time there, and I had to hold back tears. So all of our military people, thank you so much. And we're almost done with Hawaii, and it's been great. And but if you ever come here, make sure you visit Pearl Harbor. It's free. It's absolutely free to go and visit that. And so, all right. See ya. Love you.